West Virginia is critical to the energy infrastructure of the state. We've got real challenges in Washington as far as the energy industry is concerned. Dave is on the Energy and Commerce Committee doing everything he can to roll back the regulatory impediments to growth, not only the coal industry, but the gas industry and the rest. So it's my first time in Morgantown. Wish I had a little bit longer to stay because it looks like a great place.
Particularly important with having the majority leader here is for his awareness to understand the impact our fossil fuels have in our economy in West Virginia. I don't think there's any question now. Having had our conversation with him over the last 18 months, I think we've got a strong ally in Congress with him, and he'll be able to carry that fight with us because we need so much with his leadership is to tell us what bills are going to be on the floor, and he was with us from the very beginning on the fly ash legislation. He caught it quickly about the importance of what it does for cost control, what we were doing to help the environment with it, and he was with us. So I don't think West Virginia has a better ally than Eric Cantor.
Congressman, we voted 33 times to repeal the Health Care Act. Where are we aiming to get with that?
Well, from day one, the American people did not want Obamacare. They still don't want Obamacare. Overwhelmingly, people say they want to be able to keep the health care they like. And that was really the first promise the president made when he proposed his legislation, was that people could keep the health care they have if they like it. Well, that will not be the case now if Obamacare stands, because we've seen costs escalate since the passage of the law, and frankly, more and more employers are beginning to drop coverage because they cannot afford to give people health insurance anymore. We want to return back to a patient-centered system of health care where individuals and their doctors make the decisions, not some bureaucrat in Washington. So we're going to keep fighting every day in order to make sure that we can get to a point where we can return to the kind of health care people want in this country.
Since you mentioned the energy policy, of kind of what are some of the things you're looking forward to in your work with the committee and just kind of as the time goes on here?
Oh, well, sure. I mean, obviously we are 3.5, 4 months away from an election that will be very pivotal in terms of the energy future of America. I know here in West Virginia and certainly throughout the state, the issue of coal, the issue of natural gas is very important to the livelihood of the West Virginia families. And unfortunately, what we have seen in Washington is an Obama administration that has been hostile to fossil fuels. We want to end that hostility. We want to embrace the indigenous resources we've got here in West Virginia and the rest of the energy-producing states, so that we can become more energy secure, so that we can provide an affordable supply of energy for our manufacturers, so that we can actually get people back to work. And I know that Dave's emphasis has always been on the coal industry and the other aspects of the energy industry here in West Virginia, so that we can see the industry get back on its feet so we can thrive and get people back to work.
If you just look at here in Morgantown, in Pittsburgh as well, with the National Energy Technology Laboratory, the largest research laboratory in America is located here in Morgantown. But yet this administration, on its war on coal, slashed their budget, their funding for clean coal technology by 41%. There is a war on coal, and what we have to do is just stand together. We're just going to keep voting till more and more people across America understand how much power, the electricity, how much comes from coal and fossil fuels. But keep in mind, back to your question about the number of times we voted, those weren't all for naught. We've already overturned 4 provisions of Obamacare during those votes. It was a matter of educating the public and educating the members of Congress, because remember, very few people have read that bill. Now they're starting to understand it. When we look at the 1099s and all of the thousands of dollars, millions of dollars that companies were having to spend to be able to conform with that are now gone. The class provision is now gone. We go through that. That was thanks to Eric Cantor and the leadership putting those things before us. It's just a matter of time until we finally hit the right button. We actually had more Democrats vote with us this time than we had last time, so it is a process.
You mentioned the campaigns here too. Obviously, that's coming up. I know you're in election again this year, Congressman, and for Congressman Cantor, I know you're kind of a big star in the party. I shouldn't say rising, excuse me, big star with the party right now. Do you have any concerns about the elections this year here in this district, and wondering if that might have
No.
been a reason you came out here at all?
I'm very optimistic about David McKinley's winning this election. He's not taking anything for granted. He's going to fight hard to go out and make sure he talks with the folks in this district to deliver the message. And what we're about, really, is trying to get this economy back on track. We're about to focus on the issues that mean something to the lives of West Virginians, and that is to make sure that their economic future is more secure, to make sure their health care is more secure. And I know Dave has been a tremendous leader for the people in this district, and I'm very confident about the prospects of his winning. I think he will win, but he'll probably say he's not taking anything for granted.
Absolutely not. But I think the thing we're talking about also is just look at who's speaking for the coal miners. All the mining industry, all across America. We need to step up. One of the things when I went to Washington, I found out how so few people really cared about the wherewithal in the safety and the environment that the miners are in. We've taken that cause up. And if you come to my office, one of the first things you're going to see is a picture of a coal miner. Because someone has to be their voice in Washington. Because it's part of the very fabric, that's our economy. That's who we are in West Virginia is mining and fossil fuels. So I'm delighted and honored to be able to speak for them. We're making sure that they have a voice in Washington. They're the people that make it work. They're the ones that provide the power to turn on this electricity for us. So we're going to make sure that they're safe, that they have health care, and we're going to keep working it. So this is a process. It's a chess game. We've seen the move. We're just going to continue to move that down this field. But again, thank you all very much.
Polls show that the Americans are overwhelmingly concerned with jobs and the driving force in the 2012 election. What is the House Republicans doing to address the nation's economic growth and the unemployment rates?
Well, what we are about is number one, making sure that we can get government off the backs of small business people so that they can start growing again and create jobs. Number two, we've repealed Obamacare, which has been a huge impediment to the growth of small businesses because it's a huge cost factor. And together with other regulations, it's making it more expensive for small businesses to grow. They're the backbone of the American economy. Later this month, you'll see us bring a bill to the floor that will demonstrate we don't believe taxes should go up on anybody, especially in an economy like this, especially when it is an imposition and a cost to our job creators, when we're expecting them to create jobs, and when Washington's spending is so out of control. Why would you want to sustain that by adding more to Washington's ability to spend? For all those reasons, we believe it's very important to stop the tax hikes. I think that with a recipe like that, we could get this economy back on track. Unfortunately, I think it underscores the importance of the election. This president is going in a vastly different direction as far as the economy is concerned and as far as healthcare is concerned. And it'll be a decision the voters will make in this state and every other as to which direction we should go. I am confident that we will prevail as Republicans in the House. I do believe that Mitt Romney will be elected president.
Bill, as well, we were talking just about that when the president took over, we had a weak economy. I think it's appropriate we acknowledge that. But his failed policies made it worse. So as a result of not having anything to stand on, that's why you're seeing so far in this campaign. It's all about division and envy. We're going to see that this is going to continue. That's how many times we've heard about that in this campaign. All this thing about wealth. Let's talk about jobs. Where are the people going to find their job? What are we going to do about health care? Because we know it doesn't work. The program that we have right now is costing jobs.
On the subject of health care, following yesterday's repeal vote, are Republicans ready to start drafting a replacement bill, their own health care reform?
First of all, the route to reforms got to start with repealing Obamacare, which is why we have to have this law go away off the books. But yes, our replacement vision is patient-centered care. It is care that starts with individuals to increase the choices that they have as to the kind of insurance that will be available to them. Put the patients back in the driver's seats. If they don't like their insurance company, they should be able to go to another. They should be able to choose. We have put forward many ideas that will allow for individual patient-centered care, not Washington-dictated care. That's the recipe for our reform. first and foremost, we've got to get rid of Obamacare, or we will not see that, and you'll see much more government involvement in everyone's health care.
Okay. Thank you all very much.
Thank you all very much.